In this 6-minute video, I'm going to show you how to go from this hole created by plumbers to this beautiful finish in the fastest way possible. As you can see, the wall is solid and the electrical box is held by the conduit. I cut a drywall to approximate size, pretty flush at the right. I'm going to mark the wall where it sticks out behind the drywall, and then I'll just use a chisel and a hammer to knock the plaster off. I'm hammering it from the top down, not from the front to back. I'm vacuuming some dust off, and after that I'm spraying the plaster with water. This is a very important step to soak the plaster up. After that I'll shoot the foam on the plaster. Now, I never clean the gun. I've been using it for years. I keep the can on, and then before use I'll just cut off the dried foam from the tip and it's ready to go. Then the foam goes on the wet plaster. I try to shoot it everywhere, avoid any voids. I even put a little bit at the electric box, and then the drywall that is already prepared, I just set it in the foam. I use 18 gauge brad nails to temporarily hold the drywall in place, otherwise the foam would push it out. Now I check if the drywall is deep. It's better when it's a little bit deeper, then it cannot stick out. So here I still have to put a few more nails at the top, and as you can see it's just a hair in. So I'll finish the upper part of the hole. Again, the foam goes on the plaster. I even put it on the wire mesh so it's holding around the electric box and also on the drywall itself. And once again, temporarily brads shot into the plaster through the drywall. Looks pretty good, but let me check it. Yep, nicely in. Now last piece of the drywall, just quickly cut it, few more cuts and it's ready to go. Almost done, and there we go. A little bit of water, foam one more time, and a few nails, and we are good to go. So let's repair the crack in the plaster. Most people just put a mesh tape and easy sand or Durabond or some kind of fast setting plaster, but then the crack always comes back. This technology I started to use maybe 10 years ago with a very good success. So what I do, I drill holes in the plaster, then I vacuum the dust, spray the water in, and then I shoot the foam, which expands inside and bites together. And then I do the tape on the top of that. I use a vacuum to collect the dust. I drill the holes just in the crack every 2 inches or so. And after that I'll use the vacuum and get the dust out. You can see how the dust is being sucked out. And let's put some water in. So with a sprayer, squeezing, you can see how it washes some of the dust out. Now this is about 30 minutes after the drywall was set. You can see that the drywall is holding already in place very well. So now I'm going to do the foam inside of the holes, and I just put the tip in and squeeze the trigger, and a little bit of foam gets in, and you can see how it grows from the holes after I remove the gun, and it grows inside and connects the plaster. When I removed the baseboard, also some chunks of plaster came out, so I'm going to laminate it with drywall, water on the plaster, then foam, and then pieces of drywall goes into the wet foam. And again, I'll hold it temporarily with some nails so the foam doesn't push it out. Alright, so this is really solid. Time to remove the nails. So I'll pull the nails that are sticking out and I will hammer in the ones that are deeper. It goes super quick. Let's cut off the foam that grew and it's sticking out. So I cut it flush with the plaster. Now let's knock the foam from the holes. And now it's time to tape. I mixed Easy Sand 45 and I like to put it on the foam and the drywall before I put the mesh tape. So the Easy Sand doesn't have to go through the mesh, but it goes in the holes first. Now comes the tape in the wet Easy Sand. And here I'm covering the tape and I'm putting one next to it as there was a bigger space between drywall and the plaster. And the crack, I put the tape first on the crack as there were no big openings. Okay, so after I guess an hour the easy sand is set, so now I'll gently scrape off whatever sticks out. And I'm ready for the second coat of Easy Sand 45. So the same day I was able to put the third coat as well, and this is at the end of the day. We let it dry overnight and we came back the next day, sanded the wall with a drywall sander. It's a great tool, collects almost all of the dust. It is loud. And at the end of the day, after priming, that's the final result.